Who should I share with next? Going down the line! Who would you like to share next, Monica?
Certainly! Here, have a look at mine! Lady Who Knows Everything! It's that poem from the base game!
Ah, the story is told clearly and incisively, but the meaning of the story is obscure.
Exactly!
I appreciate that. I think it's important to let the reader come to their own understanding of a poem's meaning.
And I agree! Now let's see what you have for me here!
Monica reads my poem.
I see! Very interesting! You must certainly have a style of your own! It's very novel to me. Never seen much like this before in poetry.
Does it appeal to you?
You know, it's hard to say. I'd have to think about it.
Well, if it's that murkily thought-provoking, I must be doing something right.
Clearly. Alright, time for us to move along.
Who should I share with next? Say Yuri.
Hi, Yuri! You want to read my poem?
Of course.
It's Dear Sunshine.
A subtle poem. It appears on the surface to be very saccharine and blandly positive, albeit charming. But it hints at a much deeper psyche than it first appears. I wonder what lies in the profound depths of the soul that wrote this.
Not that much, really. Here, let me see yours now.
I handed my poem over to Sayori, who grabs it with both hands and reads it quickly.
Hey, great job, Yuri! Your poem was great!
I see. Did you, have any more detailed feedback for me?
Nope. Just really good poem.
Very good then. I'll move along. Who should I share with next?
Natsuki. Howdy, boss. Looks like you and me are up next.
It does appear that way, yes. Can I see what you wrote today?
Yeah, here you go. Don't expect great things. Eagles can fly.
I was told not to expect great things, but this is excellent. A very subtle and sharp point is made using extremely simple language and structure. Poetry is all about efficient representation of ideas, and that's what this is. That you managed to create such a biting point so rapidly and clearly is very impressive.
Thanks. It's good that someone around here appreciates my genius. But hey, enough about me. Let's see what you did today.
I handed my poem over to Natsuki.
Meh.
Your critique is meh.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's just different from what I'm used to. But I think it's fine. It's very you. And I have a feeling someone around here probably would like, or did like it, a lot, or did like it, it's a lot more than I do. So I'll let you get right back to the club.
It seems he wrote an MC poem.
Great poems today, everyone. Let's just relax for the rest of the club, eh? Free time.
Having fun so far? Yes, it's been quite wonderful. Honestly, I'm surprised that there is such a thoughtful club at this school. It is nice to know that people think deeply about the written word. Tell me, MC, what do you all usually do for free time here?
Whatever we want, so long as it's vaguely literary. Sayori likes to write her poem for the next week, rather. Monica's always working on some story she never actually shows us. I don't really have a set thing that I do. Usually I'm reading a sci-fi novel or something, though. And usually Natsuki reads manga. But as for you, again, whatever you want.
Good thing I came prepared then.
What do you mean?
I pull out the horror novel I'm reading and gesture to it. This could be an opportunity of sorts.
Yeah, we're already on it. Might as well.
You know, if you wanted, you could read this with me. It's actually really good. If you're into that sort of thing, that is.
I've never really read anything like that, but I'd be super interested. Totally something we could do. It's just, how are we going to read a book together at the same time?
A simple matter. We just push two desks together as so. Then you sit next to me here, and we read. I read pretty quickly, so I'll probably finish a given pair of pages before you. And you can just tell me when you're ready to turn the page.
Well, alright then, that sounds pretty fun, if a little judgmental.
We each lean in a little bit. Our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here!
MC takes his left arm and holds the left side of the book between his thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way he turns a page and I slide it under my thumb after it flips to his side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of MC's face, and he is in the corner of my vision. Are you ready?
Eh?
To turn the page.
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second.
I glance over at MC's face again, and our eyes meet. He probably can't keep up with me. Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? Like I said, I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do.
Yeah, thanks.
We continue to read in this way for a long time. It's lovely. After a while, maybe 20 minutes, MC excuses himself to stretch his legs. As he gets up, he rests his hand on my shoulder for balance, and I smile up at him. Such a kind boy. Then, as I look around the room, having been lost for some time in a literary reverie with MC, I notice something on the ground beneath one of the desks. It's a pink pen with a heart-shaped clicker at the end. Someone must have dropped it. It's a pretty cute pen. Should I try to give it back to its rightful owner?
We'll give it to the rightful owner.
Oh, hey, that's my pen. Thank you so much for finding it. I had been looking all over for it. I know it sounds kind of silly, but that pen actually has a lot of sentimental value to me. I don't know what I would have done without it.
I hand Monica back her pen.
Thanks. You're kind of a sweetie, aren't you?
As Monica walks away, I feel myself blushing furiously. A few minutes later, as I'm back to reading my book, there suddenly comes the sound of raised voices from over by the closet. I can't quite make out what's being discussed, but Natsuki certainly seems very animated. I close my book and head over to investigate. What's going on over here?
We're trying to persuade Nazi that she did something wrong.
It's hopeless, but it needs to be done anyway.
It is hopeless, because what I did was perfectly justified.
What did she do?
So there's this girl in Wild Betsy's classes who always jumps to be the first person to answer questions. And she's just kind of a know-it-all and a big suck up to the teacher. And yesterday, apparently, she took it a little far for Nazi's taste.
I was in the middle of answering a question. And then she interrupts me without even raising her hand and says like, oh, but actually, it's really important to note that that happened in 1708 or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, honestly, get a life, you know?
That does indeed sound quite annoying, I suppose. What did you do?
Well, I may have gotten into her lunch bag today, and I may or may not have spiked all her food with ghost pepper hot sauce. You should have seen her at lunch, it was amazing. She was literally rolling around on the floor in pain, just fantastic.
That's super mean, Natsuki, not cool at all. You might have hurt her seriously.
She was fine, just a little lesson. One she won't forget anytime soon.
You do think that's maybe a little too far? Or don't think that, rather? I don't feel like it's good to hurt people like that.
Aw, come on, it was just a little bit of fun. Nothing serious happened to her. Monica, help me explain this to them.
I most certainly will not. Natsuki, that was extremely irresponsible.
Yuri is just like shoved into the side of the screen here.
And more than a little cruel. You should apologize.
I cannot be the only person here who sees the justice of my actions. You all just don't get it. Yuri, you agree, right? I know you've got my back on this.
Honestly, I feel like I agree with everyone else here. That was a very mean thing to do. I'd probably look pretty bad to everyone else if I supported Natsuki in this. But at the same time, Natsuki seems like she values loyalty and sticking up for people you are close to, even if they're wrong. So if I don't support her, she'll probably be very offended. I should think carefully about this.
No, she's wrong.
I don't know, Natsuki. That does sound awfully dangerous, and definitely out of proportion to her offense, if any.
You're just like the rest of these bozos. Fine, I'll be over here reading manga because I am the only one here smart enough to appreciate it.
Is she alright?
Oh, she'll be fine. She's like this from time to time, but in maybe a minute, maybe a day, she'll be back to being freshly friendly like nothing ever happened. I try to discourage her when she does things like this in the hope that it makes her a little more considerate.
Not that we've seen any evidence it's working, though.
Can you guys take your charming discussion elsewhere, please?
After a while, the club finishes up and everyone starts to head out. What a day. Natsuki sure was mad, but I guess that's just what she's like.
Have fun today?
Yes, indeed. It has been a genuine pleasure. You all are so warm and welcoming. Thank you so much for having me in your club.
It's your club too, now. That's right. Heading home now.
I am.
Well, if you live close, I'm sure MC and Siri would be glad to walk with you for a ways at least. Maybe you'd prefer if I gave you a ride. Maybe you live far away.
This is my best chance. If I'm going to make my move, as they say, I should probably go home with the person I'm interested in. Who should I go home with?
Like I said, we're already in it.
Oh, I don't live too far away. Just a few dozen blocks north of here, really.
Hey, that's about where we live. No wonder we all ran into each other this morning.
So you want to walk back with us?
I'd love to.
Have fun, you guys. I'm going to get on the road then.
Bye, Monica.
It seems like she works really hard.
Yeah, she needs to take better care of herself. But we are glad that we have someone who works so hard as club president.
Come on, let's get going, guys.
As I walk with MC and Sayori, I grow to appreciate the closeness they have with each other. They truly are very good friends. You can tell from the inside of our vocabulary, the old jokes from when they were children, the bonds here are very old. I hope I wasn't so forward with MC as to upset their friendship. Suddenly, as though they both silently agreed to do so, simultaneously, they both turned to me.
So, Yuri, MC and I have been friends for a very long time, which means that I kind of see it as my job to look out for him. And, look, I'm not very good at this, I don't have a lot of experience with it, but it's obvious that you and MC should be together, you know? But you have to promise that you'll take very good care of him, because he's my best friend. And if you don't, you'll answer to me. Got it?
What do I even say to that?
No, it's not like that.
Wait, Sayori, if you completely misunderstood. It's not like that at all. I mean, MC is a wonderful guy, don't get me wrong, and, it's just, I don't,
It's okay, Yuri, calm down. Everything's fine. I get it, you don't have to explain yourself. Yuri just gets a little over-eager sometimes.
That's okay. No offense taken. It's just that, when all is said and done, I'm a pretty solitary person. And that's really what I am. A solitary person who thrives best when he has his space. I am still very happy that I made so many new friends today. Socializing a little bit is enjoyable, and no doubt dating and close relationships have an appeal. And perhaps I will pursue them in time. But for now, all I want are a good book and a cup of tea. Ah, contentment.
There, we got the non-ending. Alone forever. This one clearly has, like, multiple paths through it, so I think we'll check those out, like, after the mod proper.
Wow, a lot of effort went into that one. I like that you made yourself a guy in this one. Made things interestingly different. But very cute that we got I'm strong alone ending. I was pleased that ending was selected. I included it for a very good reason. Normally when romantic fans have an ending where the protagonist is alone, it's a bad ending. But I wanted to show that that can be a good thing, or even the best possible thing. And a good job you did of it, too! Well, we could talk about Yuri's mod for a long time, I suspect, but we have only so much club time. So let's move on to poems. Mine's another downer today, and I know, so I'll get it out of the way. Myself. I had a dream, and everything went wrong. The things I care about most, and have worked on most, fell to pieces, mostly. And I was left only with myself. What a terrible dream. For what is there to myself, except what I make of it in the world?
Pretty interesting. This poem definitely gives me anxiety. I've woken up from dreams like that before that gave me anxiety for the whole day. But this is more about something else than it is that feeling, yeah?
Yes, it is.
I think she's talking about being content with the self. But she can't be. Monica, or at least Monica in the persona of this poem, ties herself to what she achieves in the outside world. So if you suddenly take all that away, she's left with nothing. Possibly Monica actually feels this way, or possibly she intends it as a critique of people who do feel that way.
Or both.
Or both, yes.
This problem becomes a lot easier when your image of yourself and the things you've achieved are both zero. I'm kidding. Sorry, I've been depressed for so long that it's hard not to make jokes about it, even when I feel okay. Promise you actually feel okay? Promise! In fact, here's mine. It'll help you feel better about me, maybe.
Give me that bar.
Warm wind. Have you ever gone out on a chill, cloudy day, wished for a wind to blow the cold away, and then it comes, the sun shines through, and a warmer wind caresses you? What makes it nice is you still see the cold, dark clouds clouds and rain receding slow. But you're nice and toasty and as warmer winds gently blow upon your skin. What a treat that is to see the difference between gloom and glee.
Ah, what a lovely contrast. Much like how a day spent at home under a blanket with warm beverages is not complete unless it's cold outside. Is that what it is like for you now, mentally?
Yeah, the difference between how I feel now and how I felt even a couple months ago is huge. And it's really nice. And I really like not having to worry about myself. Or how I might hurt other people. It's so relaxing by comparison. How that? I really liked the cadence of that poem. It felt very bouncy and light. And it was written with simple language, so that gave it an easiness of understanding. Very good poetry.
All her poetry is good poetry. And here she's using one of my favorite metaphors in her poetry. It really is a very classic Sayori poem.
Why don't you go next, Natsuki?
Sure thing. Funnel. That's the name of the poem. Your life is like a funnel. At one end open and wide, at the other narrow and tight. When you're born, all is possible. Make any choice you like, with your full slate of time. But each choice you make has a cost. You go down one path, but not another. What's down the other, you'll always wonder. The more you choose, the less choice you have. Locked in by the decisions of your past. Your destination's narrow until at last, there's only one.
More melancholy for you than usual, Lucy. In the subject, if not in style, it almost sounds like me. Just something I write about.
Maybe, a little bit. I guess I don't have as much resentment about it as you do. But still, I don't think it's too far away from the kind of thing I normally write about.
True. It's just the dark side of the kind of thing you normally write about. Or what some people might perceive as a dark side. But as for me, I'm very pleased with this poem, MC. It might be my favorite among all of that you have written so far. The style, the subject matter, the elegant metaphor. All of it is very well crafted.
Thanks, Yuri. What about you, Bun? What did you think?
I thought it was pretty sad, but it was still good. I'd be the last person who could say the poem shouldn't be sad. Maybe I'm just not used to hearing that kind of thing from MC. But I agree with Yuri, I think. It was really good.
Glad to hear it. Guess that leaves you, Yuri?
Here's mine. Impoverished Dragon. Sweet, rich gold piled in my hands. I found it in a deep corner you'd never think to look. I'm filled with joy, like a dragon curled smugly on its heap of treasures. But it's never so simple, because I'm not a dragon. I want to share my gold. Its luster and beauty must be known by others. Still, we live in a skeptical world, and they come poking and prodding, bending and dissolving, questioning and testing, until it turns out my gold wasn't gold after all. There's a lot of yellow metal in the world that isn't gold, and now I'm a dragon on a heap of rust.
I'm not sure I get it. It kind of makes it sound like it's a dumb idea to share.
Well, it certainly can be, if you choose the wrong people to share with.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I just don't get what the gold is supposed to be.
Me either, neither. But I like the imagery as usual in a Yuri poem. It's very clear and specific. Can definitely see that dragon in my head. And I especially like the section where she writes poking and prodding, bending and dissolving, questioning and testing. That part scratches an itch in my brain, and I didn't know I had, rather.
I'm also a fan of this one. I think I understand what it is that Yuri is writing about, even. And I think, if I do understand it, that it's a feeling I share, Yuri.
You're much too down on yourself and your work sometimes, Monica.
Maybe. In any event, Natsuki's poem is the last to go. She obviously couldn't be here today, but she still sent her poem in. Here it is.
Magical girl. I took a breath and closed my eyes, and when I opened them, surprise! The world had gone to hell in that short time. So I got fired up and rose from bed, tied a headband around my head, and set to pummeling all my problems till I died. But wouldn't you know, inconvenient fact, I'm just one person and so I lack the power to change anything. Imagine that! So I took off my headband, back to sleep. Fixing's the way they broke, maybe. Close my eyes and things will be fine when I get back.
I guess this one sort of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right giving feedback without her here.
No, it really doesn't. Should we just move on to emails? Yes, let's do that. Try and reset the mood. Give us a moment to set it up, Hallie.
Oh, I'll give you an entire week because I'm out of time for this session. So we'll pick up with this next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll catch you with more Club Meetings Season 2. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.